I don't know how to start. I don't know how to start this. Yeah, I don't know. So welcome to the Laura and Benny Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You drove all the way up from Killarney. Thank you very much. On a Sunday. Which is, your weekends are,
on your day of rest and just magically disappears.
Yeah. So this is Eddie and Ian. They got married March 8th. And Ian made the cake on the wedding day. We're going to go straight into the cake part because there's an entire cake in front of me here. And showed up with an actual homemade cake for us, which all of it Benny will eat. No, I will.
Yeah, and I have a list there because I love a good list. And then for cake, I just have written beside it, holy fuck. Like, seriously, like.
But the cake was taller than me. I know it was on a table, but like, it was genuinely above me, Ian. It was like, and did you make the whole thing yourself?
Whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything.
Wow.
Now, what I did was I had a fake one.
Okay.
So, otherwise, I don't think I could have pulled off what I did pull off. Because a lot of my friends were bakers as well.
Yeah.
So I was going to get two of them to build it on the day. But then I was like, do you not know that's too much pressure for a guest? I was like,
big time,
make it easy. And I said, I'll do fake.
Had to do something.
Yeah.
Because it was
So it starts.
Already.
I think technically it was higher than both of you. I think in the photograph it looked with the topper it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was 2-tier and then there was pillars and then 2-tier, was it?
Yeah. So it was meant to be an anti-gravity one. So it had like it wasn't invisible, but I made it invisible, like little stand with the flowers.
It was stunning. It really was stunning. Yeah, it was a big feature of the day. There was lots to the day, but it was one of the things I won't forget. But then like Eddie, who we're now going to call the J-Lo of Irish weddings, so you ate up this whole wedding planning thing.
Yeah.
You loved it. Like I'm sure you enjoyed it too, Ian. But like you even said in your own speech that like Eddie loved every moment of this. And I remember, so Gillian in the Great Southern, which is when you got married, in the speeches at one stage, she was actually passing over.
Oh yeah. She came up to me at breakfast the next morning with like a list of open positions like around Kerry of like wedding planning and events.
Brilliant.
Would you go into wedding planning?
Yeah, but now I wouldn't give up my weekends.
It's the life.
I've started now with weekends off and never given them up again.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I'll do a bit on the side. Like, I mean, I was doing we did the signage ourselves.
Okay.
So I bought one of those cricket machines.
Right.
Of course you did.
On the vinyl. Did all the signage ourselves or whatever, but did like communions and confirmations of friends and stuff.
Okay.
Just making signs and stuff like that.
So you can be like the friends and family coordinator in the background.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Definitely.
No, but it was like, so I remember when we got on, like, you kind of get it when we chat to other couples beforehand, and we kind of get a feel of, who they are, what their personality's like, and kind of what kind of day are we going into, because every wedding day is totally different. It can be really low key, or it can be really kind of like, let's just go kind of thing. And I remember coming off the call exhausted, thinking I need to do a bit of a cardio for that day. I need to get a good night's sleep the night before. Because when you planned the day, like you planned the day, and this is why I wanted to get you to come in, because it was like loads of people, you see stuff online and you see stuff on TikTok and Instagram, and you're like, and I want to do that, and I want to do that, and I want to do that. But these things just don't happen. And I think it's really important that people kind of understand that. They kind of throw out, like, sometimes people go up to me on the day going, I was just thinking there, I just saw, like, someone was watching that in the drinks reception. Can we do this? And I'm like, well, no, because it's the day. You need to time it in. But, like, everything, and I don't want to, like, because he does this, he starts in reverse. He likes to go to, like, the party and go to reverse. I'm not doing that because I will forget half of it. But
you went straight to cake.
But in the morning, the really nice thing about the Great Southern was the railway house to get ready in, because it's got the 2 floors.
Yeah, that was a lot of controversy. That was a point of contention there. Like I seen it and I was like, I want that.
Must have.
Okay.
I was like, I want it.
Right.
Like, have to have that. Yeah. And then Ian went and inquired. We went and inquired and we were like, ooh, a bit steep for one night. And then we were like, but I was like, no. I was like, it's just perfect. And then he went behind my back, went and viewed it, booked it and all. Yeah. And then couldn't hold himself. Christina was like, don't go home and tell him. Let on know. Because we had alternative accommodation booked.
Okay.
Like from ages ago. And he was like, she was like, don't tell him. Just do not tell him. Straight away came home and told me that evening.
Because I was like, oh, I've done something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Love it.
But
it's a great place to get ready, but it was ideal for you because even though you got ready, you got ready in the same building, but you didn't get ready to get it.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah,
Still kept it a
even-
surprise, yeah.
I wasn't allowed on the stairwell, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
And it
allowed
was
near the
gas
window.
when there was something being shouted back and forth. That's great. That added
Yeah.
kind of the
Yeah.
tension and the
Yeah.
build-up, wasn't
Yeah.
that nice?
Yeah.
Now looking back on it, we should have been swapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Organizer should have been downstairs.
You were a bit trapped.
I was
there,
trapped up
yeah.
in my hovel. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm lifted up in my little cave. I can't do anything. I was like, what's going on down there?
It was good though.
Yeah,
Because
I
you would
suppose,
have kept going.
Yeah,
You had
true.
to be in the moment as well
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because everything from having upstairs and downstairs again, well, like, you both had your like wedding parties with you.
Yeah.
But before that, like 2 separate barbers in Killarney, and that was a bit of fun as well though. Yeah. Because it was like the barber that you went to. What was his name again? He was really nice.
Eric.
Brilliant, Eric.
He was,
Yeah.
Because he still chats to us now and then on DMs.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy.
Oh yeah, I met him and within 30 seconds we had left. I was like, we can't leave, and we're going to get a coffee type thing. So it was gas, but like it's great to kind of know people and kind of have that connection, and that did set the vibe from the start, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I think it kind of got you out of the act. It's great to be in the railway house, but just to get you out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To kind of get the headspace and a bit of fresh air and
Yeah,
walk down
exactly, yeah.
over because they were so close.
Completely.
But I love when we had to walk by the barber. You
Oh,
were
yeah,
in
Yeah.
Brilliant
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
there like
so
I knew
good.
I kind of got a sense that it was coming from the call. I think you were just checking in just to make sure we're not outside or we're not moving ourselves.
Don't look out the window.
Yeah,
Don't look out
yeah.
the window.
I was
Yeah.
like, please, and I was like going, yes, it worked.
Oh, it's
But
very
it was like,
good.
it
Yeah.
was just
Photos.
the small glances as well. You could kind of see it in your eyes that you're kind of like, is this
Oh, I
the
feel
moment?
my eyes. I'm definitely looking.
So bold.
Well, because it's great because Ian had his back to the window, so
Yeah.
you were facing in Benny, and then you were just like walking down the street
Yeah.
behind, and I was
Yeah.
hiding behind a wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's brilliant. So good.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite photos. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are the things like, it's great to like, obviously it is great to plan every the day to an inch of its life.
Yeah.
But then when the day comes, like let these things happen.
Yeah.
Because like you couldn't plan, let's try and
let's
get a
try and
photo
get a photo.
of
Yeah.
Eddie passing in and the
Yeah.
window kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
and these are these are what makes your day different to like all the other wedding days kind of thing.
But I want to go back to the railway house. So in terms of like people, like you mentioned budget, because budget is huge for everything when you decide whether you're going to do something or not do something. But you kind of, when we were kind of chatting and you said like per head and per use you got out of the building, when you divided that up, you were kind of like, it was really good value.
Yeah.
Oh, it
It
was
was,
brilliant.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
brilliant because like both of our bridal parties stayed with us.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
so like both of our like they said like I had my 3 groomsmaids staying with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other girl stayed in the hotel with her
With our partner,
partner.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had that. Then you had.
I
who stayed with
had
you?
my 2 groomsmaids and my brother, and then we're staying in the hotel
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So like it was like.
So there was good value per head,
Yeah.
Oh,
even
completely,
the night
yeah.
before,
Yeah.
let alone all the activity that went on the morning of.
exactly.
It
And to
was-
be fair, like the hotel brought all of our stuff over for us. Like,
Okay,
now,
brilliant.
again, I was organised. I had little tags. Remember you went around putting the tags on the bag?
Yeah.
I put the tags on the bag, and then poor Maudie, Ian's mother, was like, the last minute, and she was like, where is everyone? Where is everyone? She just horsed everything into the boot of some car, God help her.
Oh,
Brilliant.
But
Yeah.
it was great for the groomsmaids as well though, because like they had hair and makeup to get done. Like so you went to the barbers and got your bits
Yeah.
done, but the girls like they still needed to get hair and makeup.
Yeah.
But you were able to still, kind of like bring hair and makeup in. Still
Yeah.
loads of space for you to
Yeah.
get ready. Because like obviously you both like got suits. But what I loved about this, because we did a first look. So we got the whole getting ready thing.
Well, we did the
and
first
then-
touch first, so.
Yeah.
The lads were like, Benny, what's this touching stuff now? It was gas, but it was brilliant. But we get
No,
into it.
but
But go
for-
on. You're talking about the suits and stuff and
Yeah.
the reveals and.
Because it was like you didn't tell each other what the other one, down to the colour
Yeah.
of the suit.
Yeah.
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 And how did you find that process?
It was grand.
Yeah.
I think the groom's room, like we were working with Gary up there, and
Okay.
he was
Oh, it's
fantastic.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Like absolutely fantastic.
Like we went to a few places, and like, because obviously, like, there's no bride, there's no the whole bride wedding shop or whatever. Like we went into a few suit shops, and it was just like, oh yeah, they're just over there. Have a look. And you're like, "All right, okay, cool."
And you're like changing.
But we're like, oh, like we're getting our like, do you know what I mean? We're getting our wedding suit, like.
Yeah.
Went
It's
up
really
then,
important.
seeing the groom. It's actually Steve from Flog the Dog
Yeah.
told us
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Because he got
Steve
married.
likes his fashion in fairness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
does,
he had got married and he had used the groom's room. And
Oh,
he
okay,
told us
brilliant.
lads to try the groom's room, and we went
Okay.
up to Dublin.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I went up first.
Yeah.
I was like, Tina's like, book it straight out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Brilliant,
like,
brilliant,
so
brilliant.
good.
It was.
And we were saying that the difference between like, here's a suit, best of luck type
Yeah.
thing, and the difference between advice, style, giving you a
Yeah.
chance, giving you
Yeah.
area and
Off
privacy.
the floor, like, yeah.
So you had that kind of whole
Yeah.
experience where you could go in and try different things
Yeah.
And did you bring
and a bit
people
of
with you
advice.
separately when you were
Yeah.
shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, because you need the whole day out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
up to
Yeah.
Dublin.
Like myself and mom got the train up,
Yes.
and then my 2 of our friends up there. So
Okay.
and You brought your mum and sister, wasn't it?
No, no.
Oh.
Went twice.
Oh.
Brought my mom's
Totally
one,
missed it.
and then one of my groomsmaids met us up there.
Okay.
And then I brought 2 of my groomsmaids down for the second one.
Oh, nice. Okay. And it probably worked out to go to the same shop as well because you weren't telling each other.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine if you showed up and like.
And Gary, to
the
be fair, was
exact
obviously
same
trying to
suit?
like make sure that they would work
What,
together.
there was gentle pushes
Yeah.
or just
Yeah, I'd say
tips
so,
to,
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't want to go over that way, was there?
Yeah.
And was there
But to be
kind
fair, we kind of both had said that we wanted like a tuxedo.
Okay.
So it was always going to be a tuxedo either way,
Yeah.
no matter what the colour
Okay.
was. But
So
then
there's so many variations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially nowadays, there's
Yeah,
so many
there is.
variations.
now I was set that I wasn't getting a colour. I was like, I'm going black.
Okay. And did you know this?
Kind of, but then you got the white. Because the white wasn't in when I went up to try on my
Really?
first
Yeah.
fitting.
Okay,
And do you think you would have tried
that's
it
nice.
if it was
So
there?
then he was like to me, he goes, are you sure you've got yours? And I was like, yeah, definitely. He goes, you're going to have to go back up because they're after getting in different ones that you have not tried on. He said,
Okay.
I know that if you walk around the corner at Rosscastle and you see me in a suit that you didn't try, you're going to be like a dog. Like, I would have been fuming for the day.
Okay, so
Oh.
this is huge. So did you
Yeah.
try on his
Oh
suit?
yeah, so I tried on everything then, all the other ones that came in since
Yeah.
Okay.
I went up and tried them on. But no, I was still set. I went back.
You were happy with the
the one I
first?
originally chose.
Yeah, okay.
Because I went up there with the intention of getting a double rested.
Okay.
I had no idea. I didn't want white at all.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
like, but then I tried it on and I was like,
The black and white lads.
It
works.
It really works, yeah.
amazing. It was so lovely. It really, really
Yeah.
was. And I think for the first look as well, like it was such a nice. I think it was the best way for you to do it.
Yeah.
And then down at Rosscastle, as you're saying, because like obviously Rosscastle, this is where you got engaged.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know the exact spot you got engaged. It
was flooded.
underwater. Okay. What can you do?
yeah, exactly.
But
Wow.
it was. But did you enjoy doing the like? If you were to like, say, if you were to do it again, would you still do a first look?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have changed the day at all.
No.
Now
Okay.
at first I was like, I'm not going to be at ease until I seen him.
Okay.
But that wasn't the case at all. As soon as I seen you come down the road to Rosscastle down Main Street, I was like, and I met you and I was like, oh my god, I was like, grand, I can relax now. I was like, it's great. I told Laura everything that I want to do, so I was like, grand.
Oh, she's here.
She's just gonna guide me now.
Yeah. I love that.
But yeah, no, I was pure put at ease then as soon as
That
I
was
seen
our first look
Oh,
anyway,
completely.
wasn't it?
Yeah. Me sat outside the barber shop and just seen her. And I was like, great.
Oh, we should
Yeah.
have hired someone to photograph that moment.
Brilliant. But I think when we got on the call, you had an idea that you wanted to do a lot of photographs beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it was one of the main reasons that you wanted, when you were in the party, you wanted to stay in the party as
Yeah.
much as possible. Was that
Yeah.
important to you?
Yeah.
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 Obviously.
Yeah.
I know, but like
No.
the
Yeah.
drinks reception, we were
Yeah.
like, do you know, this is great. And I remember you saying to us, they're like, lads, you have a very loud drink reception.
Yeah.
And then we were like, no, it's grand. And then, what's her name? Was it Gillian came up to us at one
Yeah.
stage? And, lads, I think I might ring the bell a half an hour early. She was
Right.
like,
she copped the
Yeah.
crowd.
I think
getting
it's
giddy.
time to move on. We're like,
Everyone's like,
okay, but to be fair,
Drink
nothing
away.
was rushed
Yeah.
though. That was
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh yeah, nothing was rushed.
Good.
Yeah.
At
Really
all.
didn't.
That's it, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, and it's the fact that, again, people feel like they're going to miss out on this big party.
Yeah.
So if people are trying to time their
Yeah.
day, there's so many different ways. But like, you can do the first look, then you're going into your ceremony.
Yeah.
Or like we'll get. I really want to talk about. You actually kind of had a kind of reception. This is gas, like that. You actually went to the bar
Oh, yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah.
That was actually cool, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
it just pulled everying down and
Yeah.
gave you a chance to relax,
Yeah.
and
Relax,
hang out
yeah.
with your close
Yeah.
mates, wasn't
Exactly.
it?
But I
Yeah.
think
But the
the
cards
birds
see
were
frost
going to
as
be
well.
frozen. Yeah.
Poor things
We
were
need to see each other more often. No, they were like,
They
in
were
fairness,
always gonna
like
have
we
them.
were very lucky for March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
it wasn't like blowing a gale or very wet
Yeah.
or anything, because we could have had to like do something completely different
Yeah.
over in the Great
Definitely.
Southern.
Yeah.
The fact we got outside and we got to do the first look and you
Yeah.
got your couple of photos down there and stuff.
Yeah.
But in fairness, the girls, they were very good about it. And they were
Frozen.
frozen. Yeah.
But one of them, I asked one of them, I was like, do you want me to get you like a shrug or something? And they're like, don't put me a bit firm. I mean, no. It's like, Grant, so you're speaking for everyone. So, so I was like, Grant, no one's getting anything.
I think when I said to them, I was like, this is going to be quick and then we're going to go to the bar. Everyone was like, oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But how did you like that? Because you nearly had 45 minutes, maybe a little bit more in the bar, didn't you, beforehand?
oh,
So
for
that
sure.
sounds good,
It was
isn't
just
Yeah.
like I felt the whole day was just such a relax.
Good.
I didn't feel like we were running.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
everyone
feel-
says it flies.
Yeah.
I didn't think the day flew at all.
Now I
Okay.
did feel like it flew in a certain way that it wasn't going quick, but
Yeah.
it was like flew in my mind.
The experiences, and it's like another thing's happening,
Yeah.
another thing's happening, and you're kind of like, oh, I want to be back in that moment
Yeah,
because that
yeah.
was great, but there's another thing happening,
Yeah.
and it was just, it does fly by though.
Yeah,
like
it
even
does.
though you did time everything great, that you didn't have to rush.
Yeah.
And the other thing was like, I suppose we were lucky it wasn't like a bank holiday and stuff. Killarney can be tricky for traffic. But again, you weren't traipsing for half an hour somewhere. So that was nice to have everything in one spot.
Yeah.
And kind of use the town as best you can.
And the bar for photos, like I loved that for photos. It was really nice. It was such a big contrast to like, you know, having the lakes of Killarney and the mountains and at the castle, and then you're going into like the reds and the woods of the bar, and then even like doing the cocktail photo behind the bar and stuff. That was a bit of fun. But and I think it really relaxed everybody as well. That like pre-ceremony, like, you know, because people get very like, I think the couple when they hire a photographer, they've picked their photographer and they know who's coming, and they decide how they want to do, and then you're telling all of these people like to come with us and take photos, and they don't know who we are, they don't know what we're to do. And I think it put like everybody at ease completely from that tone on. It was like, oh, we're just gonna have a bit of fun. We're gonna like, you know, we're gonna document and we're gonna get the photos, but like we can do it while enjoying ourselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then the ceremony was lovely, in fairness. And we actually, your celebrant, Helen O'Sullivan, isn't it? We saw Helen the other day actually. At their wedding. We hadn't seen her since your one. But like I kind of want to talk a bit about the ceremony, because you did parts of the ceremony just your own way, which was really, really lovely. And it was even just from the entrance, and I won't give it away, but if you want to like share how you did the entrance, like who walked in, who went up with who, and things like that. See,
like I did like an awful lot. Like I was trying to figure out, like there was nothing really like what's the norm for like a same-sex couple. We were like, I was looking for so much like inspiration or whatever. Like there was no norm. I can't remember who was. It was you that said it to us.
It might have been.
Who said it to us to go in together? Maybe it was Helen.
I did see it on the call, and then I think you said somebody else.
I think maybe Helen kind of said, why don't you go in together, because you've seen each other.
Yeah, I think I actually seen it on TikTok.
And I had a couple, they weren't same-sex couple, but I had a couple earlier in the year, before I had talked to you, that they had walked up together. I think I told you that.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, other people are doing it. It's okay. It's good.
I think the fact that we had done the first look, we'd seen each other. We were back at the hotel together, waiting to go down the aisle and stuff like that. So we just said, you know, let's just go in together. Because neither was like, I wouldn't have been able to stand up there and wait for him to come up, or vice versa. Like I wouldn't have been able to.
That's it.
Walk up towards him, I would be very
bad. Who
bad.
goes first? And you know, who's going to wait for the other? And there is a lot of questions too.
And I think our mothers anyway, because initially I think we're like, we'll get our moms to do it, and they're like, are you sure? I don't know about this. They're again all nervous about it, and it's like, okay, maybe this isn't
too much pressure.
And I think I seen it on TikTok, and I seen the meaning was kind of like, we're going in, starting this new journey together. So I think that was one of the meanings behind it, and I was like, do you know what? I actually really like that.
That's a really nice idea.
It's not someone giving you away or giving me away. So I was like, let's do this together, and let's start this new chapter. And I think that was why.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It's a lovely way to do it. And I think more and more people are starting to kind of actually not just go with the norm, and actually think. I was even talking to a girl the last day, and she was like, I was like, is your dad walking up the aisle? But she has her father, and she's like, I'm not his property. He's not giving me away. And I'm like, she's like, no, I'm going to go up myself.
Fair,
so each to their own kind of thing. Like, but I think it was really nice, because I loved the fact that like there was a lovely entrance, and then you came in, and it doesn't happen, but everyone applauded.
And I forgot that until like to be fair, the whole ceremony was a blank. The whole ceremony was just I can't remember any of it. I couldn't remember any of it, and I wasn't too drunk after Reedy's or anything, but I just couldn't. It was such a blur. And then when I seen when I seen us coming in, and then like them all cheering, I was like, oh my god, I never forgot that happened.
People don't cheer when people walk up wild. It just doesn't happen, kind of thing. But it was so lovely, because it set the tone then for the ceremony. That I was like, oh, I think Ian, it's the cake. She wants the cake. So. You can't have the cake, Banshee. Good girl. You gonna go down? No, she's.
She really wanted cake, and she really wanted to pee. So I'm sorry I had to leave there. She was dying to pee. She'd go.
But then in the ceremony as well, it was really nice. So like you had the feather wall. I have to mention the feather wall, because it was used in the ceremony, and then again in the actual banqueting room.
And like that was the last. To be fair to the lads, that was last minute. Like we were like,
really?
I think it was myself. I can't remember. I was like, I wonder if they'll use it as like a backdrop. Like because originally we had just booked it for like the backdrop for our photo booth in the ballroom, and then we were like, I wonder would they put it at the backdrop of the ceremony because it was so nice.
It was a great
class.
class.
And the lads were like, yeah,
And
no
this
problem at all.
the Great Southern were helpful, or the actual guys
No,
who hire
my secret balloon were the ones that were like, oh, no
Okay.
problem, like we'll move it for you. That's no bother at all.
That's brilliant.
Just let us know
Because
times
they know
or
how it's
whatever.
put together, and
Yeah.
it is a difficult thing to move.
Yeah, and then to be fair, even like the Great Southern, like my friend Orla got us we could not find Mr.
Yes.
Neon Light
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
anywhere, and it's so expensive to get them custom.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
so like, we were like, oh, fuck that, like, no, it's not
Yeah.
worth getting it, like,
Yeah.
for the day,
Yeah.
whatever. To be fair, Orla, I think, ordered it over in Turkey, and ended up getting it from Germany,
Okay.
and it arrived in Turkey the day before she flew
Oh,
back
Okay.
home for the wedding,
She
so
actually
she
brought
brought it with her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is incredible.
Yeah.
but like we went down on like the evening before the wedding. I went down to the reception with like an adapter because obviously it was a European plug or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's just for the thing or whatever. They're like, oh, we got maintenance, changed the plug. We
Yeah.
put a 3-pin plug on
they
it.
did?
Friday.
Yeah,
I was like,
like
Oh, we have to give
Like,
a shout out to
like,
Great
cut
Southern.
it,
Like,
like-
I was going to do it earlier, and you mentioned Gillian earlier on, but like in general, I think we're so happy working with the Great Southern and working in the Great
Yeah.
Southern. But the experience you must have had was just off the charts.
I have to be
Yeah.
able to go back because I'm just like, I'm going to get too emotional if I go back.
Yeah.
I just can't go
I
in.
know,
Yeah.
but it is one of my favourite venues to
Oh,
go
yeah.
to. And
Yeah, yeah.
everybody
It is, yeah.
there is just nothing is too much.
No,
Yeah.
nothing.
No.
Yeah.
And did you
Yeah.
find that from the process, from the way you walked into
Yeah.
all the meetings,
Completely,
all
yeah.
organisation?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah,
No, everything.
like the only thing I had this aversion to the chairs that were in the room.
Okay.
In the original setup of the room, I was like, I just really hate them chairs.
Okay.
And I said it to Ian's mother, I was like, I just cannot stand the chairs. And she goes, I hate them too. So I went to Christina and I was like, look, I love the what's it called? What's the room called?
I think it's the tea room or the garden room.
The great
Oh,
room
the
or something.
garden
The
room.
garden
Oh,
room,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So,
For
so
the
are you talking about the ceremony?
For the
specifically?
ceremony,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
in the ceremony, so where they have it is up in the tea room, the kind of the breakfast room
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
It's
and
like the breakfast
It's
chairs.
fantastic.
And I
It's
was
got
like,
a traditional old window. It's
Yeah.
huge, and
Yeah.
if people know it, a big dome in it, so it's a brilliant
Yes.
room.
yeah.
Chandeliers.
So you're talking about the chairs,
chairs
that they're
that
going
were
to
in
use in the
that, yeah.
ceremony,
I was like-
and you're iffy.
I was like, no, I was like,
Okay.
I can't stand them, whatever. And I said it to Christina, and she was like, "There's no matter. We'll
Yeah.
bring up the chairs from the
Do a swap.
ballroom.
Yeah.
We'll cover them."
And I just want to point out that the Great Southern, is it like the ballroom is next to the
No.
garden room? It is
Yeah.
the largest. I do
Yeah.
more steps when I do a wedding at the Great
Yeah,
Southern than
yeah,
any
yeah,
other
yeah,
venue.
yeah.
Like they are other wings
Yeah.
of this
Yeah.
like.
But that's what I
big
loved about it as
resort.
well.
Yeah.
Nobody ended up going to the bar.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know, in
yes,
some
yes,
ways,
yes.
yeah.
You've
People
your
can
private
sneak
bar.
off.
Yeah.
They can sneak off, and like one of our things was like one of my friends actually said to me, Leah, one of my groomsmaids, she said, Eddie, is there any chance there are cocktails now in the ballroom? Because a lot of weddings that
Oh,
she
yeah.
would go to,
Yeah.
that they wouldn't do it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, like our very last meeting with Christina, I was like, is there any chance now that we could get like a mixologist in
Yeah.
the ballroom for just after dinner for like an
Yeah.
hour? Because I was like, I love a cocktail after
Okay.
after a
Yeah.
big dinner,
We
love a
both do.
cocktail.
Yeah.
And she was like, no problem.
Yeah.
And then to be fair to the lads, they had cocktails all evening then as
Yeah.
well.
So
But like it's small
so
things
you're-
like that
yeah.
like one of my friends was like, make sure to ask.
Well,
Yeah.
they're the simple things like people want a proper draft point,
Yeah.
or they want a cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you get a split in the reception or in the party. So that's like there
That's
were
the thing,
huge
yeah.
differences.
Yeah.
Those small things make a difference to your party.
Yeah,
And then things like the chairs make a difference to just a sense that
Yeah.
you have of
Yeah.
a day
Yeah.
in a place.
And
Yeah.
to be fair, we fit. Well, I think she said we fit 10 more people in
Yeah.
because there was not
Okay.
enough room in the room.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
asked,
yeah,
we
yeah.
asked again our last meeting.
It was like
We were like, Christina was like, how many have you got coming? And we were like we have 220.
Yeah.
And she was like, all right, okay, cool. And I was like, actually, I was like, how many fit in the
Yeah, for the
garden
ceremony.
room for the ceremony?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, I'd a squeeze 160. And I was like, okay, perfect. I was like, look, and she was like, look, she goes, I'll be the bad guy. She was like, I'll
Yeah.
stand outside and say, sorry, it's full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It was
But I-
really funny though, so
yeah.
because everyone that got their seats, great,
Yeah.
they got a seat, and then there was a few that actually they stood at the back to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
And I remember because I was at the back as you were coming in for the entrance, and the people were really close to me, just standing here.
Yeah.
And before the entrance started, I just turned to all of them and went, "Every single wedding photo you're going to be in it. Every one of you smile." And in fairness, they were roaring out, and they were like, "Okay,
Yeah.
we're on it, we're on
That's-
it." That they like, you'd hate for someone like some people have resting faces.
Yeah.
my
And
mom.
but like you'd hate for like
My
if
mom.
you walked
I know
in
it's in the
door,
video.
Hanging her straight away.
You know when you like have a resting face and you don't mean
Yeah.
it, but if
Yeah.
you'd walked in the door and a few of them would like
Yeah,
show
gonna
her
be like,
face.
what's up?
I prefer to be anywhere else.
Yeah. And if anyone's in a kind of situation again planning and they're kind of like, oh, I really want the ceremony room, but say I'm 10, 20 people over the invite, so many people will be like, it's okay, I don't mind stepping
Yeah.
outside. They will
Yeah.
sacrifice out of 200 people,
Yeah.
10 or 20, whether
Oh,
it's uncles,
completely.
cousins, whatever, they'll be like, leave the aunties in,
Yeah.
I'm grand.
exactly. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so like if they're doing that, it's like, don't let a room number cap kind
Yeah.
of
No.
Yeah.
Important.
And like
Close
we
that
tried to
off,
make
yeah,
a joke
yeah.
out of it as well, because like Ken did the sign or whatever at the entrance to the ceremony room, and I just said pick a seat on the side and squeeze in where you can.
Nice.
I was like, we won't take long.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, like it was
Brilliant.
like,
No, it wasn't.
Brilliant.
It wasn't.
and I told as many people that
Yeah.
people that I was like, make sure you get in there early.
Yeah. And when we're still on the ceremony, extra shout out to Helen, because I think Helen's gas crack, like she's brilliant. She's like I met her recently and she's like, oh the gremlins are coming, but she's full of energy and she's good to deal with and the build up and the advice and kind of working out what was going in.
She's a very positive woman.
Yeah,
she is. Yeah, she's a really
and like even like small changes, like she sent us the first draft day of the script or whatever, and then like any tweaks that we wanted to do to it, she did like over.
That's really good, and it was really nice because you had a couple of elements in it, like and the little page boy, he was really cute, and when he was asked to bring up the rings, he made the funniest little face. He was so funny. Did you see that photograph? I was like, what is that?
He's brilliant.
His faces are just so
He's hilarious. He's very animated. He's great.
Even like the photos of you getting ready with him, like it's brilliant.
Yeah, he's very good.
And to be fair, he handed the right ring. Like they're the very same. We both had the very same ring. But like just different sizes.
He knew.
I don't know
how, but he ended up just giving it the same way. We're like,
it just worked out. But little things that are lovely when it just kind of flows, isn't it? It's nice, like
Yeah, but no, the ceremony was really, really lovely. And actually, before we move away from it, the singer.
Oh yeah,
Heather. She was so talented, Heather. Like she was kind of. I don't think I'd seen her before, and I've chatted to her since, kind of thing. But was it? She sang The Greatest Showman at one stage. She just popped in. You were saying the register. And I remember I was like trying to remind myself to take photographs of you because I was listening. Because she was, and then the two of you were like kind of singing along. I don't remember that either. It happened. I'm telling you. You remember that? Yeah. It was like, no, but it was a really nice moment. It was because it's a song you don't get to hear very often in ceremonies, but it worked really, really well for the moment. And then I remember we were chatting to you beforehand as well. Like, so we had the ceremony, and then a lot of people do receiving line. Kind of after the ceremony, I was like, will you or won't you, kind of thing, and the two of you were like, hell no, it's not happening.
I think as well for me, one of the things was because our drinks reception was going to be that little bit longer. I was like, we have a bit of time there to interact with people, so I was like, do you know, we can.
No, I think if we weren't doing the photo dash, which I'm sure we'll get onto, if we weren't doing the photo dash, I think I would have probably tried to do it just because I think
a photo of each person.
Straight away for me, I was like, it was the glass corridor. See, small elements like that. I was like, I just want that glass corridor. Like, and that's where I wanted to go to. I was like, we'll just run down there, which, as you said, is like the other side of the hotel. Like we walk out with the ceremony and just run down to the other side of the hotel, just because it's so nice. But
nice.
So it is a great moment when people kind of like say they're concerned about will you get photographs as a guest. One of the great times to get it is the handshake or receiving line because everybody's passing through it and they interact with you great. But then the flip side of that was you came up with the way of with the table dash, and that was a great way of you get a chance to like double check that you get a photograph with everybody. And that's brilliant.
And we're in. We're talking about the table dash.
We're there. I'm gonna unleash it. I'll be quiet because this is one of Laura's favourite topics.
No, but I actually, because you know the way there's some things come around and they're online and they're like, they're going to be fads and they're going to come and go. And some of it, like some people ask me to do things and I'm like, oh, I'm here to photograph your wedding. I can't be doing that. What, like that's not what I. But this is great crack. I love this, and this is like a brilliant way to get like not a pose boring stand in a line photo, fun photo with everyone in the room. And you always think going in, it's going to be the younger and the younger are great crack. Go for it. It's the older crowd. It's the older crowd.
What are you thinking of?
Heather's mother on the chair. So Heather, the singer, that's Heather's mom.
That's Gaz.
Yeah, that's Martina.
But in fairness, so I think since because we recorded kind of behind the scenes of this happening kind of thing because it works so well kind of thing. And then I put it up on TikTok. It's had a fair few views kind of thing. And then I've had quite a few people, either they've seen it online or they've seen us actually doing it with people. Lots of people are actually asking to do it. And I'm totally fine to do it. But I keep saying to them, the one you saw, and if it's our one you saw, this just didn't happen out of nowhere. This was planned from our side, but from your side as well. It was kind of like from the entrance to the table dash. I need you to explain to people what you did. And like the organisation that went into it for it to work so well.
So like we did a pre-record. So we got
Brendan Fuller.
He did a pre-record of like our entrance. So he just said that he's been to one or two weddings where like the announcers got the wrong names. So we were like, oh fuck that. We were like, oh god, no. And I think we went to a wedding fair in Killarney and we had, of course, had everything booked.
But
going into it, so we were like, let's go to it. He was at it or whatever. But we had the pre-record done, and we were like, oh my god, let's incorporate that now into it. Like, let's go straight in. So
class.
It was brilliant.
So we had originally we had one song.
Yeah.
For us, no, for the girls coming in was one song.
Right.
Then we came in then to
Fresh song.
yeah. Gimme.
Yeah.
And then we were like, that's probably not going to be enough now to get around to every table.
No.
So we added the second song.
Yeah.
So 2 songs and we did it.
It was so much fun because it was kind of like, I think a lot of, because it's quite a new thing to Irish weddings, the whole table dash thing, and I think a lot of people in the room hadn't kind of seen it before.
Oh no!
And like, because we had done so much kind of like back and forth and like to the point where you even sent me the copy of the audio beforehand, so I could actually hear what it was going to be. So
I was like, is this long enough?
I was like, if you move fast enough, we'll be.
There was some serious math going on. Back and forth.
So we were like,
it'll be 8 seconds, no, it'll be 15 seconds to take. Like it was Daz.
I knew you really wanted to kind of like, let's beat the song kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like to the point where like, so you had all our organised that, the audio was ready, I'd heard the audio, and then I went around to every single table in the room before you came in and told them what was going to happen and asked them that when they hear the song starting, could they get out of their seats and come to one side of the table, and that's why they were all in little pockets of groups.
Brilliant.
And some people still struggle.
Yeah, I did see that.
Because and like, so I went around and said this, like, told this about like, how many tables did you have?
I think it was 19 or 20.
It
Wow,
was,
okay.
So in fairness, there was 2 minutes. So I was like, Ryan, this is exactly what he's the Ryan that works down in the Great Southern. I was like, you're taking that half of the room, I'm taking this half of the room, you have to tell them this. And he was like, I'm on it. So he ran that way, I ran that way. Because it just gave people a heads up, because I figured if he came in, and I know he was explaining it on the audio, but I don't think people everyone would have heard it.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
and I think we took off. We didn't even
off.
wait for it.
Yeah, that's
I was just like, we need to get it done. Come on, let's go.
Are you telling us you cheated?
Oh yeah.
Did you rob 10 seconds? Like, shocking.
I think we're at table 2 and it was like, go.
Man. But it was so much fun because like the whole room just exploded.
Yeah.
They really did, because the song choice is really important as well.
Yeah.
And if you know the words to a song, everyone will get, if you know the song, and like, you can't beat that song. You can't beat that song kind of thing. And it was just the handkerchiefs of the chair and people crawling up on top of chairs and climbing on top of each other, and listen, there was children who kicked out of the way. Grandparents were shoved over, and it was actually, it definitely was a highlight of the whole day. Like, it's something I'll never forget kind of thing. It was really good.
I think that was one of the things with the wedding as well. I just wanted people to have fun.
Yeah.
I was like, that was my main concern, is party and fun and just laugh and smile. And I think we were very successful.
No, I think I think he hit the nail on the head there.
Like the table dash definitely set such a tone. Like
It
did.
did.
Yeah, no, it's like everybody's gone into a new area, a new room. It sets the vibe of, this is a fun area again. It's okay to still have fun.
We're not just getting dinner.
It's not just serious. We're sitting down and have dinner.
Because it can be a long day for people, and you do need those little bits of adrenaline now and then to get people kind of up, because the food kind of brings you down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But before we went to the
I
banqueting
want to give a shout out to the entrance thing again. If people are thinking of the idea, the fact that you pre-recorded, it was voiceover as well as the song, right? You're right. It's 50-50 whether it's a technical issue or just some human error. Is the entrance is so tricky to get right, and it's rare that it's 100% right, but the difference between just being able to hit go and then it's all done for the hotel, because they could have a house system where 2 mics, if you talk on it, it cuts the music, or vice versa, and that's why it's tricky to where they're switching on and off. And then the management's been asked 100 questions, and they've introduced someone, and then their brain just goes,
and he had great crack with us as well. Like, it wasn't like that. You could just be like, this is blah 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 blah.
Tell me a bit about yourself, like.
Had a bit of crack with it.
So it is a great thing. I'd advise people to look into it, or if they know someone technical that can do it. Like it's again, you can personalize it.
What's the Instagram?
Go on.
Retro. No.
We'll find it.
We can look it up.
I keep forgetting.
But before we went into the banqueting room, like as you said, because we did all the photographs beforehand, and because you didn't do the receiving, like you had such a lovely long drinks reception. Where you could just go around.
Too long.
I did pre-warn you. It's totally fine. Like it's not a bad complaint.
No.
It's not about my drinks reception was too long. Where's my problems right there?
They said to us like for the drinks reception, but you can bring in like brandy and Baileys if you want. Like, that's just.
Oh, did you bring it out?
There's no corkage or whatever. We're like,
wow.
We just get like 1 bottle.
Yeah,
we're like, who the hell drinks brandies and Baileys? It's gone within seconds.
I think this was a conversation. We were joking. I think they drank you dry 2 or 3 times. It was like the 3rd time they came back and they were like, they've had enough.
220 people though is a lot of. It's a lot of people. It's a lot. It's a lot. But and then as well as with the speeches then as well, you didn't do the whole traditional everything in the banqueting room. You kind of split it up in a way that so you did in the drinks reception. was it the fathers?
Fathers and
Yeah.
The two best men.
The two
Yeah.
best men.
Yeah.
And it was really nice because everyone kind of just ended up in a semicircle
So,
around
yeah.
you, and the two of you could stand there and listen,
Yeah.
drink your hands, a bit more
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah, it was.
And they got to
Yeah.
relax because I think
Yeah.
they would have been up the
Sure.
wall.
Yeah.
Like my dad,
Yeah.
I know, but definitely
Okay.
up the walls.
Yeah.
Okay. And they all did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a really
They
good job.
really did,
yeah. And some of
Oh,
them
like
were
again, like that,
funny.
like I forgot all of mine, all of them, like until I heard.
This
the
is why you
video.
need
You're
video
back.
though.
Yeah.
You need a
And I
video.
didn't want video. I said to
Yeah.
Ian, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I don't really want video.
Yeah.
Like, it's grand. Like, and then he was like, no,
Yeah.
we're getting a video. I'm
And it's not just
so
the
happy
visual,
with
isn't it? It's
Good.
the audio trigger.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah.
special about that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because lots of people say, sure, I have a photographer.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
the same.
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
100%.
No,
No.
it's not.
No, I'm so glad that we did it
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's really good.
And
Yeah, it's
say
really good
even
habits,
what
yeah.
we're talking about, it kind of hearing back the vows, was that something special again? Like just
Yeah.
hearing
Oh, I
those
hate hearing my
moments,
voice.
like-
I was like,
This is why you come into the podcast.
I'm not going to be listening to this at all.
You have to listen to this.
That's guys. We'll go on back to the speech. Back to
Yeah.
the speeches.
No, but it was really
Yeah.
nice to, so yeah, and for them as well, I suppose, because they might be a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
So like it's done, they're like off the hook.
Yeah.
They can just like family photos are done,
Yeah.
speeches are done.
Yeah.
They can
Exactly,
their
yeah.
party,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
great.
Because
Yeah.
I was my brother's best man, and
Okay.
we had a traditional way at
Yes.
dinner.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, come on. I was like, I'm not drinking, I
Yes.
wasn't doing anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, just before the speech, I went out and had a triple vodka, and I was like, okay, now let's do it. I can do it.
Triple
I was
vodka.
like, I can do it. But yeah, no, it was, I just wanted it to be relaxed as well. Like, and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
they enjoyed it that way as well.
And dinner was long enough.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. But the
Without
nice thing
throwing
about it was
in
like
speeches,
I think.
was in
Yeah.
the room then.
Yeah.
Ian, you did a speech on
Yeah.
behalf of the two of you.
Yeah.
So you got to you actually managed to. I don't know if you realise this, Eddie, but you managed to put like every wedding into your wedding. You managed to put all the elements that work well. You managed to put them all in one day, which is really impressive. Because many people have tried and they failed. But even just for the footage side of things, for the photo and video. So like you have the footage of the photos and video in the drinks reception in
Yeah.
that lovely like bright area.
Yeah.
But then we also got like, because as you said, the feather wall that we had in the
Yeah.
ceremony was brought in behind. It was kind of off in the distance because you didn't
Yeah.
have the traditional up the very top of the room,
Yeah.
long
Top
top
table, yeah.
table. You were
Yeah.
more in the centre of the room.
Yeah.
But you had the feather wall off in the background with the Mr. and Mr.
Yeah.
Neon sign over it. And then because you did the speech in the room
Yeah.
and you kind of had your back to it, in the footage you're now like all your
Seeing it.
details
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
decor, they were also in your footage
Yeah,
as well.
exactly, yeah.
And it kind of broke up, speeches, drinking, table dash,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a speech, back to eating,
Yeah.
back to
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And your
No.
speech was a bit crack like as well.
Yeah.
It was.
How did you find the speech?
Grand from. I didn't really remember it until I seen the video.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
I might have
yeah.
had one or too many cocktails at that stage, but
You didn't come across that way though, too.
Yeah,
No,
thank
you
He just
God.
kept losing himself. He was
Yeah.
like, wait, no,
Yeah,
I
he
said,
tried-
said
Yeah,
that,
but listen,
wait, I said that.
I kind of got a sense. Did you use more of a bullet point approach rather than I'm going to read, or how did you find it, or what approach
I
did you
had
take?
it all kind of typed out, and I was going to read it properly, but
Yeah.
once you're up there, I think it just
You just
you
lose it.
You
It
lose
came
it, and it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
And
better
any
to
bit
come
of
across
heckling
it.
puts you
Yeah.
off anyway, because
Yeah.
you find yourself answering the person, and you were heckling. A little bit. He
I
would
was.
say something, and then you would next to him
Yeah.
correct him,
Yeah.
or be like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, your coffee order.
Yeah. Still doesn't know.
So there's always interruptions like that, or you might do a cheers,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
something,
yeah.
or thank you, and it kind of puts you off a little bit. No, it came across really, really nice. But I must say though, in the morning, right, you were very, very kind to give us a little gift bag, and there was a few bits in it, and I was like, oh my God, this is very generous, thank you very much. And then I was like, what is this? What is this? in the
Plastic
gift bag? Plastic sheet. So we had planned to do a champagne spray. And you very kindly provided us all with ponchos.
But this goes back to
We
planning.
should have got camera company. It's actually in the speech. I forgot all the. He was like, Laura Betty, sorry about the cameras. Don't bid us.
But it was brilliant. I think it kind of gave you it's great for us, and we actually we appreciated it.
Yeah.
But as well, it's a bit of a joke initially. But it also just let you let loose, didn't it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there was no fear. Like people are either like they don't want to hit someone with a cork or they don't want to drown someone by accident. But it was kind of like it let you let loose, didn't it? It was great.
I
Crack.
properly. lived
I think
in the moment
all of
that
your
I was
instructions,
like,
we kind of just went out the window. We're just
Yeah.
like, we're just spraying.
And you're our target.
Yeah. But it was nice because you had the champagne tower.
Yeah.
Beforehand, you actually got, a bit of champagne tower, a bit more
Yeah.
alcohology, and then outside with the champagne spray. But it was absolutely hilarious. And I remember
Yeah.
Gillian from the Great Southern was just like, I gave her my phone. I said, Gillian, record this.
Yeah.
Did I give her a poncho? Yeah. Because I knew it was going to be pretty hectic in fairness. Because there was multiple bottles of champagne being sprayed everywhere. It was really, really good. And sure, like the poor groomsmaids were like, they were starting next to you going, oh, this is a lovely photo.
I think it was your sister and my brother both ran.
Oh, they were gone.
Yeah. Well, you were going for the
You got to do it once.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. She really wants this cake. It was really, really good. And then you had Steve from Flop Dog then.
Yeah.
They're brilliant, aren't they? They really, really are.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They really can get the crowd going as well.
That's it. And you glow sticks.
Yeah.
You did. I remember that. Yeah. It was very fun.
Some of them are still going.
Yeah, they are. Sheen is one of the,
No, great advice for people because people
you can turn them off.
But it was just Sheen.
He was running around the dance floor turning them all on for people. Yeah. I seen it in the video. He was like pulling out the little battery thing, like turning them on for people.
It is one thing. That's great advice because I was at a wedding recently. They just had 2 big bags of them, and we'd one with the outside wrapper, take it off, and then you have to do that. But that's something that you could do the week of, rather than trying to work out in the moment. Going, they have these little plugs. So that's great advice. Maybe the little plug thing can wait to the last minute so that they don't go. But so you found them on Sheen. And they lasted the whole night and to the point of
that's
4 months later.
That's cool.
So like,
what this is the kitchen, is it? Like glass of breeze on.
No, it was so like what was it? The day 2.
Yeah.
There was like some random people going around with our glow sticks when I went with the E and the I and the get lit. I was like, how are these in Reedies?
Yeah, they're in Reedies as well.
Yeah. Someone brought them down.
Brilliant. That's gas.
It's not ceremony booklets anymore.
No.
Glow sticks.
Oh no, like 2 of my friends brought them home for their kids. And they're playing with them at home and everything. I get videos every so often with them. So it's cute. Like it's a cute little memento.
And what was your first dance song?
The Cranberries Stream.
I was like, we don't remember.
I don't remember the first dance.
But again, I think you mentioned it. Someone else is like you weren't like mad for let's dance and be centre of attention, but you just kind of made fun of it and just came dashing onto the dance floor and we're just like, let's just go for it.
We only got the video the other day and we watched it like 2 days ago. And I just seen me coming across the dance floor with a glow stick, and then next to the song came on, and I just fired behind my back.
It was really funny.
It's just how you roll.
I was sat there going, what is he into? But it was okay. You got on there. You got on there.
Yeah.
But then the dance floor went mental. The energy levels on that day was just like you'd live for it. Because it would just feed your soul. It really would. It was like it was absolutely mental on the dance floor. And I just love when you give older people glow sticks.
Yeah.
It's like they've never seen this before, and they're hilarious with the glow sticks. No, it was really good. And was the rest of the night as mental after we left?
Yeah.
I think I went to bed at 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I text Ian's mum because we didn't we obviously we left the railway. We left our stuff in the railway house.
Sure.
Went off, got married or whatever, and then someone just came down to us during dinner. and Was like, "Oh, there's your room key, like to the honeymoon suite."
Yeah.
Because we obviously had.
Did you know where it was?
No. And they had put our stuff in the room or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
So that was fine or whatever. Anyway, whatever time, I think I went to bed at like 5:30. I went off to bed. And I was like, oh shit, I was like, sure, he doesn't know where he is going. So I texted Ian's mother and I was like, Ian's room is whatever the room was. Like, I remember what it was. I was like, whenever he comes to bed, just knock on the door.
So he just left you?
Yeah.
That's a great start to marriage.
Oh yeah, well no, I was done.
Well used to it.
I was done.
That
was 5:30. I did well.
I would have lasted about 5:30.
And I pulled him out of the bed the next morning. I was like, we have to be downstairs to greet people, at breakfast.
Stop. Yeah. I must say though, because I sent over your sample gallery the next morning, thing of the next day photos, and then selfie of the 2 of you crying in the bed.
Bawling in the bed. Like, bawling.
Are they happy to yourself?
I was like, I was dehydrated from the drink and then like from tears like all weekend. We got on the flight then to go away on the honeymoon on Monday and I just had a 2-litre bottle of water and I was just drinking.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But go on, another shout out to Great Southern. The room's brilliant. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They were amazing, everything.
And we have to give a shout out to Sean, the doorman.
Have him down on the list actually.
Because I remember there's actually a great photo, because I don't think you realised, because when you came out of the ceremony room, he was standing right there with the champagne glasses. So I snapped a shot of you with him, and then I remember they were like, "Oh, we want a picture with Sean." And I was trying to say to you, I have a picture with Sean. I'll find him anyway.
Like around the front, we do another one.
It was great. We get all the photos. It was so fun. Because when we went up to meet Sean, and Sean was on his break.
Oh yeah, and then Tig was there at the hurl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost forgot that happened.
And the video shows how hard he hit it. And he was like, oh, he goes, I really went for it.
So it starts
Yeah,
off,
you did.
let's get a nice picture with the concierge
Yeah.
over in the Great
Yeah.
Southern to standing outside the door and you're beating
Yeah.
Eddie with a hurley.
Yeah.
Look at me for a great photo.
Yeah.
It did, to be
was
fair,
a great
very
photo.
good,
It was
yeah.
a great photo. But if you were to do, like, I'd say if you were to do it again, you'd probably do the same day again.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like, I was
100%.
saying to you, like, there was nothing that we did that I was like,
Okay.
do you know, that was waste, like, we shouldn't have done
Yeah.
that or whatever.
Okay.
And there was nothing that we didn't do that I was like, I'm raging we didn't do.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
we had sparklers that we
Yeah,
were
yeah,
going,
yeah.
that was going to be a thing, but
Okay.
the sparklers never happened. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I actually
Did you
don't,
tell
like,
me about the sparklers?
I don't think I did. No.
Yeah.
Probably not, no.
I don't
No,
know
but so-
I probably was like, I told her enough.
But in terms of your kind of like
But there's
stage photograph, the
nothing.
champagne was enough for you,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then glow sticks were enough for you,
Yeah.
and you were like, so
100%.
again, like people can kind of, they can really try do everything
Yeah.
that they see on Pinterest or Instagram or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's okay if you didn't
Oh yeah, if
do
you missed
something
like,
like,
like that, like
There's
I
only so
was
many hours in the day
so
as well,
happy
though.
like,
Exactly.
with everything.
Yeah, that's really
And
good.
especially like one of my biggest things, like we went to the Great Southern at our first meeting, and
Okay.
it was Julie at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julie said to us, "What's the most important thing for the day? For like, what do you want to base your wedding around?" And we were like, we just said to them, all we want you to do is really good food.
Okay.
And really good service. We're like,
Yeah.
we'll bring the rest. We'll
Yeah.
bring in a band.
Yeah.
We'll bring in a photo booth. We'll bring in like a bit of crack.
Come on.
Yeah.
I was like, that's all we want. And to
Yeah.
be fair, oh my
Yeah.
God, like
And you're-
everyone wants to
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about the food.
What
Everyone
a
wants to
great
talk about the
question to
service.
ask a couple though.
Yeah.
I really trying to drive home like how great this venue is because
Yeah.
everybody there, like to actually bother to ask, like, how do you want your wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do so many
Yeah.
weddings there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do 3-4 weddings a week
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
care about each couple to
Yeah.
the level they care about each
Yeah.
couple.
Oh, completely,
is
yeah.
amazing.
You're
right.
Yeah.
You're right though, but it's people that make the place. Like you
Yeah.
can have all the grounds and the setup that
Yeah.
it is, but
Yeah.
it's the people in there and the
Yeah.
attention to detail. And like you say, you can't beat service, and
No.
there's nothing more frustrating than service that just isn't up to
Yeah.
standard or is just off on a random
Because
day.
it's usually the thing that people come out of a wedding.
Yes.
Like, see, that was
Yeah,
great
that's
crack.
great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always
Yeah.
something. There's
Yeah.
always something.
Yeah. But you're right. If someone has if you give them a great means like
Yeah.
mains, they can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you
Exactly,
can't. Yeah.
No, the food was unbelievable, to be
Yeah.
fair. And even the food in Reedy's, oh my God, the day two.
I say it was unreal, was
The
it?
food was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Did loads of people go to day 2? I always wonder by day 2, do people actually
Yeah.
manage to
Yeah,
get there?
yeah. There was some
Yeah.
rugby game on.
Yeah.
Two don't give a shite about it. Like, there was some rugby game on.
So extra atmosphere, I suppose.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
no, it wasn't Mother's Day. Mother's Day was the Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that we really kind of screwed
I
up.
liked
I was just about to say,
the
did it
flowers
get-
as Mother's
Yeah.
Day
Yeah.
presents, that was nice.
But it was one thing that if anyone's looking to book a wedding
Okay.
and looking to book flowers, make sure you're not having a wedding on Mother's
Mother's
Day
Day.
weekend.
Okay, yeah.
That
Because
was-
That's a
we
really good point.
really
Yeah.
struggled to get a
Okay.
florist, and
Yeah.
shout out to Enchanted Flowers.
Yes.
Katrina does the flowers for the Great Southern,
Yeah.
Okay.
and Katrina was like to us, or Christina was like to us, "Have you
Try.
tried Katrina
Yeah.
in Enchanted Flowers?" And we did, and
Yeah.
she said to us, "This is the only one I'm doing."
Yeah.
And then we went to
Yeah.
meet her then, like
Yeah.
the 2 months before the wedding, like to bring up
Okay.
stands that we had purchased or whatever.
Yeah.
She was like, "I said yes to 4 more weddings
Yeah.
this
Oh,
weekend."
yeah,
She
but
was like,
she's
"I just
really
can't
like
say
that,
no."
though. She's
Yeah.
so
But
nice.
it was just
Mm.
like we went to a couple of florists and they were like, "It's Mother's Day weekend,"
Yeah.
and
End
the
of.
one florist said to us, and this is what like really, because I was like, it really hit home. I was like, Valentine's Day is the biggest day of the year.
Yeah.
Your man said to us, he's like, "Look, it's like this, lads. Everyone has a mother, whether
That's
she be
right.
dead or alive. She gets flowers in her hand or flowers on the grave."
That's
and I was
right.
like, "Oh, sweet suffering Jesus!" Like that's terrible. I was like,
Yeah.
"But it's so true."
But you're right,
It
Jess.
is.
I was like,
yeah.
It is true.
Yeah.
I was like, "We're not going to have any flowers at our wedding."
Yeah.
Whereas
But
Valentine's
yeah.
Day, people are like desperate for like
Yeah.
discounts.
Yeah.
Oh, they go for a meal.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
check
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Okay,
great call.
That's. I think we'll
Yeah.
end it on that. That was
Yeah.
pretty good. But honestly, though, lads, Eddie and Ian, guys, thanks so much because I really want you to come in to share the day
Yeah.
because it was like I think in 5 years' time I'll still be
Yeah.
referencing Eddie and Ian.
Yeah.
It'll just be one of those days that like you just. I don't think you like. I think you kind of realized it, but you didn't realize it like completely.
Yeah,
We've done
yeah.
like 500 weddings, and every wedding has their own elements that are brilliant. But there are a few now and then that just you absolutely line the ducks up, and then you just go in on the, like you plan it to an inch of its life, but then you had the crack,
Yeah,
and that's the
yeah,
difference. Because
yeah.
some people kind of like they plan, they keep planning,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they don't
And the
plan at
stress.
all. And no,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
like,
yeah. Like I said, I was like, as soon as I seen you, I was like, "Grant, I've told her the plans." I was like, "I'm done." I was like, "Sit back."
memorized it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. I've got the runners and the poncho in the car. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
But thanks so much for coming in, lads.
Thanks for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Brilliant.